Hero 30 and a very super secret special feature are the priorities of the Overwatch dev team right now. Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the channel. I am Stylosa. Now, you guys are probably aware of this, but Blizzard in the Irvine campus, so the head office of Blizzard, where the Overwatch team work out of the Team 4 building and all of that good stuff, they have a streamer corner set up. So what they do is they get Twitch streamers in and they get to, stream Overwatch, but sometimes some of the developers come over and have a chat with these streamers. So what we're about to see is a very small section of an interview that Fran conducted with Matt Hawley, who is the lead producer on Overwatch. There's a link to the whole thing in the video description. But check this out. What is your priority right now, if you don't mind me asking? Or is that not allowed to?
Well, right now, I will tell you today what the team is working on is we are working on Hero 30. Yeah. So we were just they were just had a playtest earlier today. Still very rough, but we're working on it, and we're working on some super special stuff that I can't talk about. That's kind of coming mid next year. So
okay, thank you so much for sharing.
Of course,
that. No, that's totally okay. You don't have to spill any beans, but that's amazing. That's cool that you guys are very like releasing heroes like all the time. Like I heard, or Jeff Kaplan said that you guys have 6 in store right now. So
yeah, we have. I would say we have 3 or 4 in heavy prototyping phase right now, and then another 2 in paper design, and then another probably a couple more after that.
Okay, so before we get on to the second bit, there's a huge feature in development and all of that stuff, because we've also got comments that Jeff Kaplan has made on that as well. Before we do that, though, let's go into detail onto Hero 30. Now, we presume this is Echo. Echo was introduced during the reunion cinematic, which was shown at BlizzCon. This is the McCree cinematic. McCree's fighting over, well, he's fighting with Ashe, and she's with the Deadlock gang, to try and take control of whatever was in this crate. It turns out what was in the crate is, well, Echo, and it's an AI robot of some description. It's like a super Omnic by the looks of it. Now, when I spoke to Michael Chu at BlizzCon, I had the chance to interview him. He said that actually, yes, they always knew that inside the payload on Route 66 was this hero. It was a robot. It was an Omnic. It was this artificial AI, super AI being, which is in there. They've always known that was the case, but they were very happy to get to actually show that off to us. So, Hero 30, we know is in development. Obviously, Matt's just said that, but also Jeff as well has been saying, yeah, Hero 30 is in development. It's very far along. We're doing a lot of work with it. As we just watched Matt say, they were playtesting it even just yesterday, which is insane. However, what is this hero going to be? And who is it going to be? Well, everybody thinks it's Echo, and it makes sense, right? Why would they introduce us to Echo in a cinematic, which most likely they've been working on for, 6 months plus? They would have known that they were going to be working on the hero at that time frame, because in this same interview, Matt does say it takes between 6 and 9 months, I do believe, to actually design a hero. So they would kind of know, right? They can kind of start the hero development, start pushing it through those phases, and then start obviously working on the cinematic. So when it launches, it's setting up the community for, yes, this is a new character, and this is probably going to be the next hero. The question is, what is this hero going to be? I hope this is a tank or a support. We don't need any more DPS, I don't think. More than half the hero roster is DPS. We need tanks and supports. What I'd like to see, and I've kind of, like in the past, I've discussed Echo and what she could possibly be and all of this. Honestly, I'd like to see something which is well, it gives you the ability to choose between D.Va and Echo. So maybe it's some sort of off-tank flex tank, but it does something which competes with D.Va, because D.Va is in every game all of the time because she's so goddamn good. Nobody is better than D.Va, right? Which is a massive statement to make, but you always want a D.Va on your team. If you guys watch the pro level of Overwatch, there is always D.Va. In every team comp, there is D.Va. There is never not a game where you don't see a D.Va, because D.Va is so effective, you always want her on your team. Defense Matrix is insane. So, I'd like some sort of a hero which comes out which maybe competes with D.Va. That being said, I would take a support as well, but I think if it was a DPS, the community would go crazy. Hopefully, the devs know that we want a tank or a support, so yeah. So you guys go crazy in the comments below. What do you think the hero's abilities could be? Super interesting. All right. Let's get stuck into the second part of this little mini interview, and this is the idea that there is something very large which is being worked on, and has been worked on for a while, and will come out next year. Now, let's think about launch phases in Overwatch. Let's think about what's going to happen with new hero launches. So at BlizzCon, we didn't get a map. This means there is gap for a map to come out next year to fill one of the launch slots. So I fully expect this is what we're going to see. Winter Wonderland event, then we see the new map, then we see the Chinese Lunar New Year, or Lunar New Year event, and then we get a hero. So I think that should take us to March, and the hero, I think, will be Echo. And then after that, this is when we get this major announcement. Now, what worries me about this is Overwatch League starts on February the 14th, on Valentine's Day, for Season 2. And I've always been thinking that surely they're going to do something really big for the start of Overwatch League. You know, just to get people to come back to sort of watch professional Overwatch, but also get them back playing the game. If people play the game, more people will watch the pro level stuff. So you'd expect them to do something major in February. This is why I'm a little bit worried that if what I've just explained to you guys is the way that they go for the content drops going into next year, and we have to wait until after March for whatever this big new feature is, then I'm going to be a little bit worried. Anyway, this is what Jeff said. This was taken from a Kotaku interview, and Jeff said this: "We do have a few tricks up our sleeve for next year that I think will be pretty cool. When those moments happen, I think players will go, oh, I get what you've been doing now. It's always hard because we try not to talk about things too early." Now, yeah, the thing is, I really would like to know what you're doing, because we are in the dark and we have no idea what is being worked on. Now, I put this idea forward in a video recently where I'd like to see a roadmap or something which gives us an idea as what's being worked on. In fact, in the interview that Fran did with Matt, he does say that they've literally got years worth of stuff that they can be working on. So there's lots of stuff going on there. It would be nice to get a little bit of insight into that and to see what's going on. Anyway, what could this feature be, and what would be a huge feature that would, you know, get the devs so excited like it seems to be getting Jeff here? This has to be guilds, right, guys? It has to be some sort of super detailed social system which has like a few different elements to it. So a way of building a massive team of players, like a guild, hello guilds, or a clan, or whatever you want to call this, so you can pull from these players and build teams. So if you can build teams, what can you do? Overwatch is by far at its best when a full 6-stack is playing. Even if, right, you're not all of the same skill level, it is so much better, and you'll be surprised that, you know, if you're playing at like GM or low, like I'm like low GM, high master. So if I'm playing at that level, and I get somebody from Platinum on my team, I'd be like, oh my god, this guy is going to be so bad. He's not going to know what the meta is, he's not going to know what to blah, blah, blah. But actually, those players learn really fast just because they're in an environment where they can. When they're on ladder, they're just with throwers and trolls and people who don't care, and that's crap. If they're in a team, they learn better. You will be very surprised. Even like a gold player, you put a gold player into a master game, you're going to be like, oh my god, what the hell's going to happen? But if you play with that player for a few matches, they become better. Anyway, that's besides the point, right? So imagine if you've got a system where you've got a clan of players, then you can build teams from that, but then what's the next logical step after being able to build teams of players from that system, which is exactly what you would use it for? That's in-client tournaments. That's Overwatch tournaments. This is what we want. We absolutely want this. Now, if this feature is just the World Cup viewer, but basically on the live server, I'm going to be like, this is okay. You know, this is okay, but there's more I think that could be done before that to actually have more impact on the community. So let's just go back to the idea of the guilds, because you guys know I really like guilds and clans and all that stuff. So imagine if you had in-client tournaments. Now, the way these could work would be quite simple. So I say it's quite simple. I'm sure something like this is horrifically terrible to implement and program and design and whatever, but I'm not a designer. I just want stuff. That's why I just shout and scream about it. So imagine if you had the Platinum Weekly, you know, right? So you go into this with your team of Plat players, and you're playing against other Plat players, best of one, well, the best of 3, let's say, or best of 5, whatever, single elimination. So you just play against one team. Once you knock them out, then you go forward, you go forward, you go forward. So maybe you just start off at, like, I don't know, the quarterfinals, semi-finals, finals. So there's loads of these tournaments running all the time. But if you win, you get a special reward. And this is the next thing I want to talk about. We need rewards, ladies and gentlemen, in competitive. We know the Overwatch team do not like the gold weapons. They're crap. They don't give you anything. They don't say that you're a good player. It's just a shining gold skin. And in a lot of cases, it takes away from the actual good work on the weapons that come as part of the skins, right? So sometimes, even though you've got the golden weapon, you don't even use it. You say, well, it's terrible. Getting a spray for top 500 or getting a player icon for top 500 is a very major achievement. And top 500 is like literally 0.0.0.1% of the community, right? So for somebody like me, doesn't care about top 500. What do I care about? I want to have rewards. I want to have badges. I want to have something that says this player knows how to play tanks. This player knows how to play supports. Or this player is really good with Reinhardt because of this. This player has won the Master Weekly Tournament 5 times with his team playing tank. you know, and if that's on your profile and you got like a trophy cabinet or something, I think that would be mega cool. And then you could even have special skins attached to all of this. So the sky is the limit with this type of stuff. I just think though, Overwatch suffers inherently because you do not get to play the hero you want to play. And is role select the answer to this? Well, role select, you know, and role queue, we've all spoke about this before. We've spoke about it to death. I think there are more elegant ways of doing it, and the more I think about it, a system like this where you can just build your team and then go into the game is much better. Now, of course, we've got LFG right now. LFG has a lot of problems because it's difficult to get a group of players together. It's difficult to look at like a database or a list of players to approach them because you're just sitting there with a game going, well, I hope somebody joins the game that's a tank and can play Winston because we want Winston in this comp. Somebody joins after 5 minutes and they're a Reinhardt player and you go, well, they've got the profile set to private. So you go, can you set your profile to public, please? And they go, no. And they leave and you're like, okay. Or they go, yes. And you go, well, we were actually looking for a Winston player, but you're a Reinhardt player. So you kick them. And then you're sitting there and you're like, well, this seems to be, yep, 20 minutes have gone by and it's terrible. That's not good. But it is a step in the right direction. I remember when I went to Korea and we actually had the chance to talk to Matt and one of the art designers for Overwatch. And we did say, like, you know, what's the future for the community tools that have been implemented? And he did say that the phase they're in right now on the live service is the crawl phase. The walk phase is coming and then the run phase. So what's the walk phase? Is this what they're talking about for next year? Because we don't really have much to go on. Now, this is where a lot of like the crazy speculation stuff comes from Overwatch, and it can be frustrating at times because we don't have a lot of information as a community to know what's actually being worked on. All we can do is moan about things that we want, and often it can seem like we're just endlessly moaning, going, give us the content, come on Blizz, where's role queue, where's guilds, where's this, where's that? But sometimes some of that stuff doesn't actually work when you take a step back and look at it. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been Stylosa and this is Unit Lost. What do you think this big super secret feature is that's coming out next year? That's been referenced by the big daddy himself, Jeff, and also by the lead producer, Matt. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll catch you lovely lot on the next one. Remember, you can follow me on Twitter, which is @UnitLostGaming. Also, you can follow me on Instagram, which is instagram.com/Stylosa, and click the bell, guys, so you get alerted to when videos go live. And of course, subscribe to the channel if you do enjoy the content. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Toodaloo.